I no longer speak to my family after they sided with my lifelong bully. When I was 11 years old, my world, once vibrant and filled with possibilities, was turned upside down by relentless bullying. Anna and her friends made school a place of daily torment, transforming what should have been a haven of learning and growth into a battleground of fear and despair. Each lunch hour, the cafeteria became their stage for cruelty. They would encircle me, their demands for my lunch money filled with a sense of entitlement that left me feeling utterly powerless. I had no choice but to surrender what little I had, leaving me hungry and struggling to concentrate through the rest of the school day. The gnawing hunger was a constant reminder of their control over my life, and my inability to focus on my studies only compounded my misery. Their cruelty extended far beyond the cafeteria. If they didn't catch me at lunch, they would lie in wait by the school gates. It was as if they had made it their mission to ensure that every moment of my day was overshadowed by their presence. They would drag me along with them, demanding that I accompany them on their excursions as though I were their property. They insisted that we were best friends, a notion that was a cruel mockery of the reality. They coerced me into buying snacks, makeup, and other items for them, always ensuring that the financial burden fell on me. When I hesitated or refused to part with my money, their response was immediate and brutal. They would kick and punch me with a calculated cruelty that left me reeling. I learned to brace myself, wrapping my arms around my head to protect it while enduring the blows to my stomach. Each attack felt like a personal betrayal, a physical manifestation of the emotional abuse I was suffering. At home, I sought solace, hoping for understanding and support, but my pleas for help were met with disbelief and frustration. My mother, consumed with her own responsibilities and preoccupations, dismissed my concerns with an alarming ease. And as a good kid, she would say dismissively, her tone making it clear that she had no intention of taking my side. "You're just careless with your money." Despite my repeated attempts to explain that Anna and her friends were bullying me, my mother remained unconvinced. She believed that I was merely seeking attention and accused me of exaggerating the situation. My father, too, aligned himself with my mother's dismissive attitude, scolding me for not getting along with Anna and further isolating me from the support I so desperately needed. Their disbelief felt like a profound betrayal, compounding my sense of isolation and misunderstanding. As I transitioned to high school, the bullying escalated in both intensity and frequency. Anna and her friends became increasingly aggressive, their cruelty reaching new heights. One particularly harrowing day, they cornered me in the girls' bathroom, their faces contorted with malice. It was only the intervention of a school janitor that saved me from more bullying, as I was trembling with fear. The school principal was notified, and for a brief moment, I dared to hope that justice would be served. Anna's mother, visibly remorseful, approached me with an abundance of apologies. But my mother's reaction, when we returned home, was harsh and dismissive. She slapped me repeatedly, her anger directed at me for causing embarrassment and trouble. "How dare you make me look bad?" she yelled, her face flushed with frustration. "You must have done something to provoke Anna. That's why she's angry with you." Her accusations felt like an additional layer of betrayal, compounding the pain of the bullying. My attempts to defend myself were met with further anger and disdain. My mother's fury resulted in a month-long grounding, and I withdrew further into myself, communicating minimally and feeling increasingly isolated. Despite the grounding, the bullying did not abate. I sought refuge in avoiding school whenever possible, hiding in quiet corners and skipping classes to evade Anna and her friends. My academic performance suffered as a result, but my primary goal was survival. My brother, who had always been a source of protection and support, stepped in whenever he could. He picked me up after school, shielded me from Anna's harassment, and provided a sense of security that was increasingly rare. However, his move away to college left me feeling abandoned and adrift. Though he promised to visit and stay in touch, his absence created a significant void in my life. The bullying continued to escalate in his absence, leaving me feeling more isolated than ever. Each day was a struggle, and the emotional toll was profound. The harassment seemed unending, a relentless cycle of fear and pain. In my senior year, I was transferred to a new school, offering a temporary reprieve from Anna's cruelty. My mother's newfound concern felt insincere and hollow, highlighting her previous neglect. Even though I had escaped the immediate danger, the scars of the past remained, a constant reminder of the suffering I had endured, college provided a glimmer of hope and a fresh start. I began to rebuild my life, making new friends and finding a sense of normalcy. My brother's continued presence was a source of comfort and stability. We spent weekends together hiking, swimming, and sharing stories about our lives. These moments of connection helped to mend some of the wounds left by the past. I kept my distance from my parents, communicating only when necessary. Though I was slowly piecing my life back together, the shadows of the past lingered, casting a long and painful shadow over my present. The stability I had begun to build was shattered when my brother mentioned he had a girlfriend. Initially, I was happy for him, but my suspicions grew when he avoided sharing details. The truth hit me like a freight train when he introduced his girlfriend. It was Anna. The realization was a crushing blow, reopening old wounds I had worked so hard to heal. How could my brother, who had witnessed my torment, be in a relationship with my former bully? The betrayal was overwhelming, a painful reminder of the suffering I had tried so hard to overcome. I confronted my brother in a whirlwind of anger and disbelief. Seeing Anna standing behind him, her guilt and defensiveness apparent, was almost unbearable. My brother pleaded with me, trying to explain that Anna had changed and that she made him happy. He wanted me to forgive her for his sake, to accept her as part of our family. But the years of suffering, the relentless bullying, and the pain of his betrayal were too overwhelming. I couldn't reconcile the person I had known with the woman he wanted me to accept. Out in my anger, I threw the groceries I had bought for dinner, shouted at my brother, and stormed out of his apartment. The finality of my actions felt like a turning point, a breaking point from which there was no return. I severed all contact with him, blocking his calls and messages. His attempts to reach out, to explain or apologize, only deepened my sense of betrayal. His persistent efforts, including showing up at my workplace and waiting outside my apartment, were met with increasing frustration. I threatened to involve the police to make him stop, and eventually he did. One night, my mother called. Her voice was calm, almost too calm, as she urged me to reconcile with Anna. She explained that my brother was set to marry her and that the family needed to be united. The words felt like a final, cruel betrayal. Anna, who had been a source of so much pain, was about to become a permanent part of my family. I couldn't bear to hear more. I hung up and blocked her number, closing off the last connection to a family that had failed to protect me. 2 years have passed since that call, and I remain estranged from my family. Jane, my cousin, still tries to keep me informed, though I've asked her not to. She told me about Anna's pregnancy and my brother's desire for me to attend their wedding. Despite her respect for my wishes, I sense her sadness at my decision to remain distant. The thought of Anna becoming a permanent part of my brother's life and their impending marriage feels like an unbearable weight, reopening old wounds and making it difficult to find peace. The past remains a haunting presence, casting long shadows over my current life. I struggle daily with the emotional toll of the years I spent in torment, trying to reconcile my past with my present and future. The pain from the bullying, the betrayal of my family, and the ongoing reminders of the life I once knew create a complex tapestry of suffering and loss. Despite my attempts to rebuild and move forward, the shadows of the past cling stubbornly to my thoughts and emotions. My journey to healing has been fraught with challenges. I have sought therapy and support, trying to make sense of the trauma and find a way to move forward. I've built a life for myself, focusing on my career and personal growth, but the scars of my past remain ever present. Each day is a battle to keep the darkness at bay, to find hope and joy in a world that feels marred by the echoes of past suffering. As I navigate the complexities of my emotions and relationships, I am constantly reminded of the profound impact that the past has had on my present. My brother's decision to marry Anna and their subsequent life together serves as a painful reminder of the injustices I endured and the family who failed to protect me. The weight of these memories and the ongoing struggle to find peace make each day a challenge. I long for a future where the shadows of the past no longer dominate my life, where I can find solace and happiness without the constant reminder of the pain I have experienced. But as the past continues to loom large, I am left grappling with the unresolved emotions and the struggle to forge a path forward amidst the lingering darkness.